guys, Jose and Abel from Toy Fiends here today, doing another figure review, so to speak. And for today's video, we're gonna go over some figures that most of you are probably familiar with at this point. Now, before we go into that, we want to go into a little bit about not the history, but the company behind it. You know, we always like to do that because we ourselves, when we go out to buy figures or try to partner up with companies, we always want to look into the quality of the product that they're releasing. You know, that's obvious, but also the history behind what they've done. And today's company that we're sort of going into in a little bit is NECA. A lot of you are familiar with NECA. They've been around a long time. I'm not sure how long, but I've seen figures from, you know, the Series 1s. Like, remember, we had a few Series 1, like, original NECA figures, and you can tell from then to the figures they release now, there's a huge difference. Like, not just in the, I don't want to say quality, because those figures, not to say those older figures are bad figures, but there's a definite, like, I don't know, what's the word, like sophistication that they started to, that obviously they would get as technology gets better and as molds get better, the figures themselves are expected to get better. So that's the only difference. I mean, the Series 1 figures are definitely more expensive because of that reason that they're older, but at the same time, if you were to compare it, you know, to a figure of now, the detail on the figures that are coming out now are much better in my opinion. But yeah, you know, so that's a NECA. The two figures we want to preview today are actually part of that same history as far as how long NECA's been around, and that's their Predator series. NECA has, I mean, I don't even know how many Predators they have. Like, it's crazy, dude. Like, if you look at, I think there's a list, like, you can, like, you know, with Funko Pops, like, they have that chart, like, when you're completing say, for example, a good one are Harry Potter Pops. I think there's a poster out there that if it outlines every single Harry Potter pop, and it's like, I mean, it's dozens of pops. There's something like that exists for NECA Predators. I mean, there are that many NECA Predators, and there's some that, I mean, they're going for, I mean, I've seen some for a couple $100. I mean, little figures, you know, that are, because they're so rare now. They're not, you know, in the pack. Styles of Predators. Yeah, crazy. Right. Because the lore of Predators, I mean, it's pretty, like, it's an expensive universe. I mean, there's so much detail behind Predators and what they're all about in terms of, I mean, there are comic books, you know, there so much, I guess, so much history and pop culture around the Predators. And NECA's been one of the few companies that has really followed that to the end, as far as, like, I mean, making so many figures of these characters. And not only that, but they've been really great figures. I mean, I've seen some of the older ones, to my point earlier, even the older ones, even the older Predators, the older molds, I should say, they're very high quality figures. And so that drives up the value even more, you know, just the quality and the history. So, so with that said, what we want to do today is we want to review some of the newer NECA Predators that have come out recently, and they're a throwback. So these figures here, again, a little bit more history on the figures themselves, and NECA, how they release these figures. So these are called Ultimates. And most of the figures that you see, whether Predator, horror, you know, or any type of figure that NECA releases that are in this type of packaging, they're referred to as Ultimate figures. So these two are Ultimate. I guess this one here is called Ultimate City Hunter. And we'll go into, obviously we'll review that one for you guys. And then this one is called Ultimate Lasershot. And this one, you can see on the packaging, is just, you know, they went all out with this one. So again, usual question, which one do you want to look at first? Which one's catching your eye?
I have to say this one.
Yeah, okay. Lasershot. Yeah, so this Predator, it's an interesting Predator. So this is, as I just said a moment ago, this is called the Ultimate Lasershot Predator. And the history on this guy is very interesting, because many of you Predator fans know that Predators are very much a warrior type culture, meaning that they have clans, they have, I don't know if they're called villages, but they have a long history. And not only that, they're called Predators because they pride themselves on hunting and killing. Like, they if you think back to the movie, remember the movie with Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
Like, the Predator not just enjoyed I wouldn't say he enjoyed the kill. He enjoyed the hunt. He enjoyed the thrill of,
like a hobby.
right, like a, well, I don't know, I don't know if it's a hobby, but, I don't know, like the thrill of the hunt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The fact they're trying, like, I guess the point is, what I'm trying to make is that they're trying to find a worthy prey. So what that means is they're always modifying themselves, like, or not modifying them. Well, that's this guy. Sorry, I got my words tangled, or my predators tangled. But what I'm trying to say is that they're always trying to do their best to make sure that the hunts or the prey that they go after is worth it, because they themselves see themselves as apex predators. So that's sort of the little history. But this guy's interesting. The Lasershot Predator is an interesting he's sort of I would call him a deviation on the traditional Predator. Because the history on this guy is that, and you can read it on the box, which it's actually a cool little snippet that they put on, released about him. He's basically a sociopath that grew up with no clan, no rendition of honor. Like, his whole thing is just kill the prey as quick as possible. Like, he does not care. And you can see, and if you compare him to a traditional predator, you can see the difference in the modifications to his body. First of all, this guy, right off the bat, you can see that he actually has his LED built in one of his eyes. So the LED is obviously that targeting mechanism that the predators use to target their prey. He went ahead and added it to his eye. He gave himself a huge left claw, and he's actually got, I think, two cannons on his on each shoulder. One that shoots a grappling hook, or I think you can switch out. It's got a grappling hook. It shoots out one of them shoots a grappling hook and a spear, I think it is.
Wow.
So I mean, his whole point is like, I mean, he doesn't care. Like, predator. Like I said, predators, for the most part, they want to honor. They're all about honor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's a point in one of the movies, I think, in Alien versus Predator, where the predator actually helps like the humans or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's crazy, right? Because
Yeah.
they're traditionally known like for hating everything besides just outside of their predator culture. But this guy is just known to be a bad dude. Like, if you come across him, he's going to just
Wow.
he's gonna annihilate you. But some other things aside, besides just the history on just the figure and this predator, the figure itself is very, very well made. I mean, you can see right off the bat, it's got tons of detail. And what's interesting is he's actually purple. I've talked to a few of our customers about that, and they've mentioned how it's kind of weird to see a purple predator. And off the bat, I can see how that'd be a kind of a weird concept to say, oh, there's gonna be a purple predator, because I mean, it's I don't know, it's just sort of weird. I don't know.
It's the first time I see a purple predator.
Right, right. That's something I didn't really even think about until someone said it to me, and I was like, oh, that's a good point. That is a purple predator, but that really that sort of goes out the window, because when you look at the rest of him, as far as the rest of his features, the claw, I think he's got a little shield on his right hand, and his mask, his cannons. Like, I mean, you're not gonna laugh at this guy for being purple. Trust me, this guy's gonna, he's gonna come after you. But some notes on the packaging. You can see that they went with the NECA went with the traditional sort of, I think it's Kenner type packaging, which is like from the, I think, 80s or 90s or something like. It's definitely, wow. They went with the retro type packaging. You can even see they modified their logo there, NECA, to look more like the old school type packaging. So it's a cool touch. I mean, what's cool as well is they have little instructions here at the bottom of how to attach the different parts. I mean, that's how sophisticated some of these figures get, is that you need actually instructions on how to use this stuff, or how to display them, I should say. And another cool feature of this type predator, and I you guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but this one, instead of having an interchangeable head, instead of having an interchangeable head, you can actually snap on and off his mask. So it actually, you can display him without the mask. You just take it off and set it to the side, or you can snap it right on, and now he's got his mask on, which is kind of cool. I will say though that I have taken one of these guys out, and the mask is kind of a beast to get on there. It's a little, I don't know, it doesn't snap on really easily like you would think. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a little. You have to try, essentially, like, to get it on there to make sure it sticks on there. But the other cool thing about this one is, I mean, we all know that with the Predator, that laser beam that they have in their cannon, I mean, you want that to. I mean, wouldn't it be cool to have a laser like that shoots out of a figure?
Heck yeah.
And I mean, this guy gives it to you. So this actually does have a light up LED in his eye. All you got to do is remove the little, I don't know, the little socket protector or whatever. It's got one of those little clear plastics that you pull out.
That's crazy.
You know, you just pull it out and then you press a button on his head and the eye lights up in the that triangle or whatever. Yeah.
Wow, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's a really interesting figure. I mean, it's got a lot going on for it, and you know, I'll be honest, like the feedback on this one has been interesting because some people look at it and they love it, but some people are like, again, because most fans know the history of predators and how they tend to be honorable creatures, I guess you could say. This guy modifying himself to such an extent just to kill living things is sort of like, well, that's not very honorable. So it's funny, like that's where you sort of see like the loyalty that people have to certain characters, that when they look at this guy, they're like, oh, that guy's kind of, I don't know, he wouldn't fit in my clan because he's kind of a kind of a, I don't know, he's just not a good guy, you know.
He's a sociopath.
Right, he's just a bad sociopath. And that's the thing too, is that this predator does not belong to any type of clan. He's on his own essentially, and probably for that reason. So, but again, that's kind of cool that NECA sort of picked all that stuff up and really gave this kind of predator his history, you know, his own history in that way. So yeah, it's a really cool figure. It's definitely one of my favorites that we've gone to the shop, just because I'm a detail guy. It's just, I mean, you look at the figure itself and just tons of detail on there. I will say another note just on this figure, because I opened one. The hands, or I should say the joints, they don't move as easily, and I think it's because of all he has going on. So I mean, I'm sure there are you guys out there that have your own way of posing him, and I mean, there are definitely better posers than I am as far as, you know, figures, but that's just something I noted. So just something to be aware if you do end up picking this guy up. So with that said, you know, considering that now we have this sort of honorless, you know, killing machine, let's go into one of the more traditional looking predators. And this predator, let's go into the Ultimate City Hunter Predator. I think is that what it's called? The Ultimate City Hunter Predator. And this is actually modeled after Predator 2, the movie. And I think that's the movie where, I mean, he straight up just goes to Los Angeles and is just hunting criminals or looking for worthy prey. And you'll see right off the bat, compared to this guy over here, he looks more like your traditional type predator. He's got the fishnet. He's got, obviously, the predators are a technologically advanced race. So he definitely has his technology. But in terms of, if you want to compare technology between these two guys, obviously this one's a little bit more limited. But again, for the very reason, not to be a dead horse, but because he's trying to enjoy the thrill of the hunt. He wants a challenge. I mean, he wants the prey to fight back, and you know, true to form. That's not to say that he doesn't come with a ton of features. He comes with let's look. He comes with looks like a staff. He comes with I forget, what do you call it? Do you know what they call it? Disc, the one they throw the.
There's a word for it.
Yeah, there's definitely a word for it. But he's got a skull with him. He's got a second head mold, and this is what I was talking about earlier, in that how this predator was unique, at least to me. This one, he has a different head mold for the head, or for so I guess, so with this one, like I said, you could take his mask off. With this one, you can't. It's you know, it's just
I see.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to switch out the head entirely, which is kind of a pain, to be honest with you. But there are ways to do it. There are other videos on YouTube or elsewhere that teach you how to do that safely, so you preserve the figure. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this predator here is, if you're looking for a traditional looking predator, this one's probably closer to what you would want. Obviously, the Jungle Hunter is the one that's the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, that movie from Arnold Schwarzenegger, the first one. And this guy, you know, like I said, he's from the second movie, so he's going to look a little different, but again, he's closer to what you would see in a traditional predator. And just looking at some more features, as far as this figure, he does come with, like I said, he's got the second head mold, he's got his tools, he's got various hands, so you can switch out his hands. And I mean, I'm just looking at the paint job, it's awesome. Like, I mean, just look at the hands, like it's amazing. I mean, this it looks like a living creature, right? Right? You just see, like, look at the head. I mean, it looks like it's gonna jump out any moment and take us as prey. It's a crazy looking figure. The other thing too, what's a predator without having any type of prize? You can see in that one, you can actually pose him with the with the head, with the skull and the spine still attached to it. So again, just as a reference to what predators keep as their prey or their prize, at the end.
Is us.
Right, yeah, which is us. It's our right. Yeah, man. It, like I said, there's definitely, if you compare the two, I mean, it's probably not a good comparison because there are many different predators. If you wanted to compare predators, you probably have to get like another type of this guy and then look at the differences. But for the reason why we wanted to compare these two is to show you the contrast just between the history behind the two. That here you have a guy who's more about, I'm going to take you out, I don't care how I do it, versus this guy who's more, he's part of a clan, he's got honor, he's got traditions, that you can see how they look a little bit different. And you can see that NECA took that very much into account and did their best to come out with two very high quality figures. I mean, what are your thoughts on the two?
I'd have to say I like this one better, and I like the story on it.
Yeah, right.
I like the traditional, more of a traditional look.
Yeah. No, it's
crazy.
It's and like I said, it's just interesting how and this is what collecting is all about. Like why companies like NECA why companies like NECA are my favorite or in my favorites, because they look at, they don't just look at, they just don't look at a predator and say, oh, here it is, here's your predator figure. No, they have dozens of predators, but not without a reason. They have dozens because there are references into the history of predators that justify that many. So it's not just because they want to, obviously they're trying to sell toys and try to sell, I should say toys collectibles, but my favorite reason of why they do that is because they're trying to really convey, it's honestly art, it's art. They're trying to tell a story through a figure, and you can see that each figure tells a different story, just, looking at them right off the bat. I mean, so these are two of the most recent acquisitions that we got into the shop, or I should say that's in our stock at the moment. But just a little bit about our relationship with NECA and our shop is we do have a license with them, and it's been, I mean, they've been awesome, right? Like, they never disappoint. Yeah, they never disappoint. They deliver on time. They're a great company overall. But besides that, you can see that we've been very satisfied on our end with the type of figures that we've been getting from them when we can get them. Because I will say that Predators, even among us as shops, these guys sell out, and for very good reason, because the quality and care that goes into making these figures is very high. I mean, there are collectors out there who pretty much collected every single Predator. I mean, like I said, there's an entire collection just dedicated to just the Predator line, and like I said, we do plan to order some more. And I think we had some more order, but they got back ordered, which is totally fine. It happens. It's the toy business, it's the collectibles business. But we're definitely very happy with these figures, and I hope you guys enjoyed me going to the little history and the background behind each figure. And you can now get these in our shop. We do have these out on our floor in our shop, or if you're not local to us, you can visit our website at toyfiendscollectibles.com. And as always, guys, thank you guys for the support. Like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at Toy Fiends, and find us on Facebook at toyfiendscollectibles.com. I mean, got anything else liking the Predators and
just guys, like and subscribe.
Yeah.
And let us know which Predator you guys like best.
That'd be I'd love to hear it, because I know there when I showed this guide to some of the people or some of our regulars that like collecting Predators, he was like, honestly, like, excuse my French, but they were like, man, fuck that guy. Like they were just, because of the reason that he's so outside of like what a predator is, but he's still a predator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was interesting to me to see, like, wow, like, that for us as shop owners, I mean, I would be the same way, honestly. But if it was something Star Wars related, like, I mean, we argue about Star Wars all the time. So I'm sure there are people out there who, as far as worrying about the accuracy and what a predator should be, I think this guy falls way outside of that. But again, that's perfectly fine because you know, it's just something different that you can enjoy and just have in your line. But I understand if you're trying to build your own traditional quote unquote Predator army, this guy would probably fit in there a little bit better. But yeah, not to be going back and forth. Yeah, so again, thank you guys, and we'll see you guys at the next video.
Thank you.